Hello and welcome. We are back to playing D&D after a few months hiatus. If you saw the last video, the player characters, which are here, you got 1, 2, and this gnome up here. They went to Gnomegarde, where the gnomes live, and they got the whatever this is, not a catapult, the weapon that they'll use to help defeat the dragon, hurt the dragon. This is one of the crab machines that they're using to transport the weapon to Phandalin. So they're on their way to Phandalin, and they're going to cross over this bridge. And this is a encounter that I made up. It's not in the book, because I wanted to kind of use some of these things that I've purchased over the years. So what's going to happen is that as they're going over this bridge, an explosion is going to happen that's going to damage this machine, and the weapon is going to be stuck on this side, and they won't be able to cross it unless maybe they use one of these, like the raft or something. They pull the raft over, put it on there. But while that's happening, I'm going to have these goblins kidnap the gnome that went with them on this trip to transport the weapon, because only gnomes can fit inside this this machine. So the other two player characters couldn't. Only one could. She happened to be a gnome, but this guy's said he would help them transport it. So when this explodes, the player character is going to be messing with this, and the goblins are going to kidnap this guy and take him to their hut. And the reason they're doing this is to give the dragon tribute. So I'm going to say that the dragon kind of keeps attacking these goblins and demands tribute from them every once in a while in the form of a live creature. And it's either one of them, one of the goblins, or it's someone that they can capture. And that's what they're doing. They're trying to capture someone to give to the dragon. And I'm looking for, here we go, the young white dragon. So the characters will have options. They can try to negotiate with the Goblin King, who's right there. They can try negotiating with him. It's going to be pretty difficult, though, to negotiate with him, because he's going to want to give one of them to the dragon instead of one of his own people. The characters can suggest things like hiding or attacking the dragon, fighting the dragon off, just moving away to somewhere else, and we'll see if that works. If not, they can fight the goblin. And then in the middle of everything, at some point, I'm going to have the dragon actually come in here, land, and probably shoot ice towards these barrels. I'm going to have these barrels explode. So I'm going to like make the ice, like the dragon will be here blowing ice, and he just happens to blow it over there, causing it to explode like that. And I'll make it more, like I'll put out here as well. And what I'll do is I'll make the fire start traveling this way towards the weapon. So the player character is going to have to do something to make sure the fire doesn't reach the weapon and destroy it. And I'll do it so that maybe like part of this goes like this, crosses, so it makes sense that the fire can pass the river and come here. So we'll figure something out to make that work. But that's kind of what I'm thinking is going to happen. I also have ready the dwarven excavation that is drawn on a map that's under here. I don't know if you can see it. There's that map. So if they get finished with this and still want to keep playing, we can remove all of this and go directly to the Dwarven excavation, which is kind of what they had planned last time. But we'll see what happens, and I'll do a post gaming session recap of what happened. So I'll see you there. Okay, we are back. We just finished the session. We still got the players here, and I wanted them to kind of go over what happened. So why don't you go ahead and kind of explain what happened from, I guess start from the beginning, or however you want to do it.
No, I'm going to start in the middle, and then I'm going to go back to the beginning. We're going to do a time jump thing like the Avengers movies. Keep up, folks. Now, okay, so effectively we had our siege weapon that we were trying to get back to the town, and we scouted ahead on the bridge and found there was a tripwire. Unfortunately, did not disarm it, but were at least able to leap back when it exploded, which alerted this goblin tribe that had invaded the area, that our druid cleverly found out from squirrels had invaded the area. So they came out and started attacking us. We defended ourselves. We killed one of them and managed to cut the ropes that they had lassoed around our gnome companion.
Where's he?
Was
He's back there.
Yeah.
he's back there doing what gnomes do.
Yeah, so the
now he's
goblins lassoed him and tried to drag him across the river.
Correct. And so we managed to cut the ropes and free him, kill one of the goblins, and then get to a point where there was negotiations, and they cryptically told us through broken Trigonic, since none of us speak Goblin, that they needed a tribute for a white demon that they drew in the sand, which we later found out was a white dragon.
Yeah.
So the white dragon comes down and descends when we were convinced to go into their town for negotiating, and it was a trick to make us tribute.
And this is the symbol the goblins drew in the sand to say what the white devil was. They didn't say dragon, they put that in the sand to say that's the white devil.
Yes, which basically looks like a drunk pterodactyl.
Right.
But our DM drew it with his left hand. So anyway, so then the white devil, which ends up being a white dragon, descends upon the town, and while he's deciding that all of us are now his slaves and we all owe him tribute, because the goblins wanted one of us to stay and the rest could go free, the Dragonborn monk offered himself up as tribute because he figured he could escape.
Where is he? Oh, there. There's the Dragonborn.
Boom.
And that's the druid.
And so, while we had the dragon distracted, our arcane trickster,
Let's see. Yep.
escaped with our other gnome companion and got to the siege weapon and managed to shoot the dragon with the siege weapon, forcing him to flee. And now we have worked out a deal with the goblins that we will go back to the gnomes to see if we can get them a siege weapon as well, if they promise to give us safe passage and items to repair our crab tank thingy.
Right. And this, just so the people watching, is the dragon, breathed his ice breath and it hit these barrels and it caused an explosion that caused fire to slowly creep towards the weapon over there in the top right of the screen.
And then our druid was able to use her magics to put the fires out so that the siege weapon did not get destroyed.
Right. So there you go. And we're going to call it here. We played for about 2.5 hours with a pizza break. But that is it for this campaign diary. Until next time.